blockchain and financial education. Look, I think as we all know, we don't get taught about finance at school. Now, whether that's deliberate or not, I don't want to necessarily comment. That seems like politics to me. But the reality is, most of us come out of high school uneducated on finance outside of.
Give me 1 second here, StockTrade. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
There's an echo going on right now.
Yeah, no worries. Let me know once that's clear.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. You're now there. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yes. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get back into it. Actually, let's go ahead and follow back on here as well. So yeah, thank you. I'm hearing myself echo.
I can't hear you echo from this end. It's quality.
That's okay. We'll just go ahead and carry on with this. It's fine. Yeah, thank you, StockTrade. Thank you, Nate, for coming in. So we're going to talk a little bit about Olympus Insights. Nate got his audio working back again. That's fine.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm sitting out in the car because Bob's still asleep. I think I'm getting that echo issue that you were talking about, but that's all right. I'll try and work around it. But yeah, being up bright and early, 4 a.m. spaces that started today. I'm a school teacher, been working as a maths, science, phys ed, health. So this echo's messing with me.
Yeah, this echo's messing with me too, big time.
But yeah, been working as a teacher for 10 years. Went through the pandemic period. I don't know if StockTrade said this. But yeah, we had to find ways of engaging students online. I don't know how to do this with the echo. I might take my AirPods out.
I'm not saying, I'm actually not hearing. I'm not hearing echo.
Get rid of that.
I'm not hearing echo from other you guys.
Okay, no, we got it. I fixed the issue. Sorry, that was actually on my end. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. We'll go ahead. We'll get back on track over here. I bet everybody's behind the screen laughing off right now. Right. That's okay. We'll get back on track. Let me get this over here. Stuff like that as well. Can I move this over here? Give me a second. All right. We're back. Yep. Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, we're good now. Okay. Let's wrap it up in the very top. So Nate, now you'll be able to go ahead and give yourself a proper introduction. I'm sorry about that, buddy.
Oh no, I'm still getting a bit of that echo, and it's interesting to try and without listening at the same time.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. No, but we're good now. We're good now.
I'm still getting it on my end.
You're still getting it on your end.
So yeah, every time that I speak, I can hear it coming
so it's
through
only
my
you. You can only.
earphones as
So
well.
what you're saying is you can only hear yourself, right?
I can.
So
hear all of
everybody
you
else is
in
clear,
my
but
earphones.
is everybody echoing or just you?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, because stay winning just joined.
I'm still getting a repeat
Of everybody or
in
just
my
yourself?
earphones. So when I speak,
Okay, so you're Okay, just disconnect your earbuds and use just your phone.
sorry.
All right, so you're using just your phone now, right? And now we can't hear you, Nate.
Oh, well, look, I'm not getting any echo. Maybe I just talk for both of us for for the intro.
Yeah, I
And
think that'd be good.
yeah, look at it.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about Olympus insights here. So tell us, like, how did you guys get started?
So as I was saying, me and Nate met about 18 months ago on Cardano. He came up, talked about, I think at the time it was NFT Devils, but ultimately his goal was to, I suppose, build a competitor to the LMS learning management system that he was using in the school he was in, which is called Education Perfect, which they adopted during COVID to be able to do remote education of kids. It's expensive, like $6 per student per month. And when you got 1,400 students, you're paying thousands of dollars a month. And schools obviously don't have lots of money. Look, I love the idea. Look, I'd been in the school system before, selling into schools. I was asked to come and help turn a business around in Queensland, Australia. That was selling newsletters, like digital newsletters in the schools. I spent 6 months helping turn that business around from a loss-making business with 71 schools into the largest digital newsletter provider in Australia, 1,500 schools, which is there's 10,000 schools roughly, public and private in Australia, which is 15% market share, and they're now in 6 countries. So I had a bit of background in that area, and my concern with Nate's model at the time was it's a really long sales process, and I didn't think it would scale that well, personally. But anyway, look, after a bit of research and time, I thought, well, look, if we're going to build an LMS for schools, we're going to adapt that to businesses and take on the teachable market. And there's also an opportunity for us to do a learn-to-earn market, right, which is sort of taking on, Udemy and Coursera. So anyway, we fleshed out some numbers. We did a bit more research, and eventually, because I run a software business and I had some spare capacity on some of the devs, I said, look, we'll build this for the meager amount of money you have.
Yep.
And as we went forward over the next few months, I went, no, actually, I think there's a really good business opportunity here, right? So, I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, I've managed to raise capital for over 300 startups in Australia through a company I run called Seed Money, and I've seen lots of different business plans and business models, and most of them fail, and it's obvious why they fail. I thought, no, this actually has legs for a number of reasons, right? And it's really about being at this convergence point of, it's always good to be in a market when technology is changing. And AI is going to change jobs. It's going to change education.
Yep.
Blockchain is going to change jobs, and it's going to change education. And the third converging thing is really about global financial debt, and the fact that everybody, without actually knowing it, is getting less and less purchasing power every year unless you own assets. So unless you own stocks or property. And look, even if you own stocks and property, you think your wealth is increasing, but your purchasing power is remaining static. So you're actually not getting ahead. And for 60% of the population, they're all going behind. And then look, people are noticing that through inflation now, but inflation's just making the problem worse. It isn't actually stopping the problem.
Solution. Exactly. Yeah. And the thing with Elon, he made a post before, like last week, about I guess connecting with the World Mobile Token and stuff like that, like connecting the unconnected and getting people, availability to the internet and whatnot, and that's going to allow them to go ahead. I mean, knowledge in the internet should be free. It should be accessible for everybody, and I think this is why the product that you're creating right now, for the ecosystem, it's going to onboard so many people. And then if they're going to go ahead and not only learn, but have the ability of teaching people through the programs and the steps and stuff like that, which we'll get into more here later on, this is going to, allow people and incentivize people that they can go ahead and earn money while they're learning, and also educate and still earn by educating. So what you guys are tapping right there is a big, broader audience. And I remember you said earlier, before, that the range that you're targeting right now, I mean, the whole market cap itself is like in multi-billions. So I mean, what you guys are building right here and how you guys came to this conclusion too, and like the product, with all the experiences you've had along the way, so you know what works, you know what doesn't work, and that's how you guys are able to take those steps too. So yeah, no, I mean, this is a really interesting project, and it's really good that you guys have these experiences, so that way you know how to continue going on forward, and allowing people to come in and get them involved quite easily.
Yeah, and look, it's sort of like if we go through those things that you just mentioned, could you there, which is, look, connect the unconnected. Look, an absolutely admirable thing, and obviously being connected to information is super, super important. But in Africa, like let's say Nigeria, you've got 70% mobile penetration, and you've got 70% mobile penetration with internet access. So that country of 230 million people actually have access to the internet. Then we talk about bank the unbanked. Well, look, and that's admirable. The problem is if we're trying to get people into crypto, and there are 3 billion people that are unbanked, they have no on-ramp to crypto.
Exactly.
Because they're unbanked. So the only solution to the problem is earning money in crypto. And the only way you can understand that you should be in fixed supply assets like crypto is education, right? Because without education, you don't know you should be in crypto in the first place. And when you know you should be in crypto, if you don't have a bank account, you can't actually get into crypto from fiat. So the connected and unconnected is admirable, but it doesn't solve the problem. If 3 billion people are unbanked, they have to earn in crypto. And I suppose what we're doing is not just educating them on finance and blockchain and how to essentially make their finances multiply over time and actually have self-sovereignty over their future. It's actually allowing them to get into crypto in the first place. So the learn-to-earn model is super important to the entire strategy. So we like to say there's connect the unconnected, bank the unbanked, and educated the uneducated. But the uneducated are not developing nations. It's first world nations as well, because none of us actually get taught about finance at school. True. And then when we leave school, we generally learn about the profession we decide to choose. And at school, you get to learn how to write a check, balance a budget, pay your taxes. But you don't learn anything about finance. You don't know what money is. You don't learn how money is created. You don't learn how central banks can infinitely print money and completely devalue the purchasing power of the money you actually have.
Hey, I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to tell you this right here. If y'all are learning in Australia how to balance checkbooks, write checks, and do your taxes, you are freaking 3 steps ahead of what kids in the United States are learning.
Exactly.
They are not learning that
though, because there's
all.
a lot of people here. Yeah, there's a lot of people here in the United States that they're not offering that type of education. I mean, heck, you know how hard it is to go ahead and find a high school that used to go ahead and teach driver's ed? They don't have those anymore because of like cost efficiencies and whatnot. It's insane. It's so crazy. But it's cool. Like back, I guess, back in your time, learning about like how to do taxes and stuff like that was the norm. But when it comes to like the educational systems that's going on here in America right now, it's low. Like it is low. It's bad low. And I think it's time for a change. There needs to be a better educational system that needs to be changed here in America and personally all over the globe. And I think what you guys are doing right now is you're doing that. And people are learning and earning and being able to create content to educate others along the way. So it works out. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're getting people involved, but you're also teaching them the ropes and how to be successful in life at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we're a biggest believer that, look, fundamentally, education is the only way people can get themselves out of the situation they're in. And I suppose this platform is actually allowing us to do things that's been historically very difficult, which is to actually pay them to actually learn. Now, when people hear that, they go, "Oh, this is a Ponzinomics thing. How can you possibly pay people to learn?" And look, it sounds like a Ponzinomics thing unless you understand that there are also revenue streams that are tied to the real business. So Ollie for Schools is a subscription-based services that generates income for the business. Ollie for Business is, and look, the best example that I can give, Teachable. Teachable sold for $250 million, was turning over $200 million in revenue a year before it was sold to VC, essentially. Yeah. But that's a revenue stream, right? The Learn to Earn platform. Well, look, 85% of the people on there can sign up for free and access free courses and learn. And then we will have paid content creators who essentially, charge for their courses because they're obviously a higher quality course, and the platform takes a 20% cut of all the revenue earned by the content creator that's put the time and effort into creating good courses. So we have multiple revenue streams, real world revenue streams that allow us to then feed back into the token and keep the equilibrium of the ecosystem alive. And obviously we also have a bunch of other utilities for the token that allow it to essentially, have sustainability. It's not an Axie Infinity Ponzi scheme where you just pay people to play the game and then you run out of tokens. It's the business. It's a business that's essentially earning real world money that allows us to buy the token back, and we're going to take 20% of the profits from the real business to buy the token back, which gives the token long-term sustainability.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. And I think now that we got Nate here back with us, I just want to double check to see if he's available now. Nate, how's the audio working on your side? Can you hear us? Can you say anything? Nope, he still can't say anything right now. We can't hear anything. Sorry, Nate.
Nate, can you hear us?
He's like, damn it.
Nate, can you hear? Can you hear everything coming through? Okay, but you can't. But we can't hear you. All right. And you're not muted at all. Like I want. It's got to be. Disconnect the Bluetooth on it and let's see what happens.
Yeah, we'll give you like 15 seconds here to kind of like reconnect to your Bluetooth and see what happens.
Or no, keep them disconnected altogether.
Or that works too.
And just use the phone.
All right, let's go ahead and I guess Will, we can start sharing this over here to the main screen about Ollie for the Olympus insights here. So we did like a little introduction for stock. Nate is getting back in here momentarily. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the solutions. And we did talk about how the problem is connecting people, and ways to get involved with the Ollie Insights project. This stream, I made a post before on Sneks on Chain. So if you haven't already, make sure you guys have liked and reposted that one so that we can go ahead and get you involved into the whitelist giveaway. We'll talk more about that there later on. So we got this introduction for the insights right now. So Ollie's will empower millions of people around the world to close the financial education gap. So this is really good though, because there was an announcement that happened earlier today. We're all happy about the Ethereum ETFs to pass through, but I'm really happy that the fact that they did ban CBDCs, and I think that's probably a really big milestone here for sure. But we're going to go ahead and we'll talk about the 3 flavors of Ollie. So Nate is not at the moment here. That's okay. But Stock, if you want to go and discuss about the 3 flavors of Ollie, the stage is yours, my friend.
Yeah. So the 3 stages of Ollie. So the original one that Nate obviously ran past me was the Ollie for Schools. As I said, it was, being in the school system and selling to schools, you have to get principals, and in Australia they're called business service managers. It's tough, right? It's very hard to get to see a principal during the school day. So, that company I told you about before, Schoolzine, I spoke to the CEO and the directors and said, look, you guys have got a massive asset here, which is you've got a team of salespeople on the ground with fantastic relationships with principals and business service managers, you should be upselling and cross-selling other products into those accounts, right? Because getting into the accounts is really difficult. And anyway, look, over a series of weeks, they've agreed to essentially sell Ollie into the schools on our behalf. We pay them a commission for every sale, so there's no cost to us until there's a sale, which is great. And they're in 6 countries around the world with over 2,000 schools. So in our business forecast, we're basically saying we will sign up 7 schools by the end of June next year. I think Nick could do that on his own. But now we've sort of got schools in on board, that should massively multiply in a number of countries around the world. The second flavor is, I suppose, Ollie for Business, which is a dedicated environment where you get to set your own membership fees, charges for courses. It's exclusive to you, so you only invite people in. And look, we see that probably as the biggest growth market, just because, as we see AI coming into play even more, we're going to see a lot of people that essentially want to set up either side hustles or lifestyle businesses in the some micro businesses in the economy. If I look at Teachable, they've gone from 10,000 instances of their platform, selling for $699 a month subscription fee, to 100,000 in the last 3 years. So I think it's a growing market, and I think with AI, it's going to explode.
Yeah.
And Nate's back.
Nate's back. Hey, Nate, welcome back. We can probably hear you now.
Can you guys hear me?
There he is. Yes, we can hear you. Hey, I think it was the headphones, man. Those headphones probably had to get charged. But yeah, no, coming back to the AI stuff that's going on right now, Stock. So it's true, because like if you think about it, AI is progressively, changing all the time. So like last year, remember you ever seen that video like Will Smith trying to eat spaghetti, and it's like this really weird art and stuff like that, and it doesn't even look real. And then now, if you use like ChatGPT-4, they can have conversations with each other. They can tell you like who's behind you, what type of motions they're making. They can have, they could make some really crazy, amazing art. And that's going to lead to like, okay, what's going to happen to all these educators? What's going to happen to all these builders? What's going to happen to all these artists, right? And it's a very, the topic definitely needs to be discussed, because what's going to happen after that? Because in the next 10 years, as someone like me personally, when I was young, I used to go ahead and I used to build things by hand. I done, concrete, I done foundations, I did all these hands-on stuff. But now that we got AI coming into the picture, and these machines coming in and taking a lot of people's jobs and stuff like that, we have to start thinking about what is best for the future of humanity, and the best for educators and learners alike.
Absolutely. So, if you look at things like Sora or the new GPT-4o, which is a multimodal model, and if you look at, literally AI every month is getting, like every 6 months, it's 10xing in its capability. So it's going to displace a lot of jobs over time. History teaches us that humanity replaces jobs, but there might be a time lag between jobs going away and jobs coming up. But what it is going to mean is a lot of people are going to have to retrain. So that is going to be done not in classrooms. It's going to be done online. So we expect to see an explosion in online education over the next 5 years as these things take effect. And obviously we are well positioned there. Now, my core business, so I'm an owner of a software development business, and we're already building AI therapists for companies. So we're in the middle of building 3 different projects with AI integration, and the speed of change is just unbelievable. So a large part of what Ollie will do next year is actually start introducing personal tutors, so AI that essentially learns how you learn, tells you how to fill the gaps in, tells you, look, when you do this course by this instructor, you do better than this course. So, obviously everybody's got different modalities of learning, and it will actually start tailoring learning to your specific way of learning and understanding. It'll never tell you the answer like ChatGPT will. It will just work you through, like if you've got a linear equation, it will sort of give you hints at how to maybe solve that linear equation in a progressive manner, so that you are obviously still learning how to solve a linear equation without getting the answer from the AI, which is a pretty exciting proposition.
And where it gets really powerful, obviously, is where the AI can learn how the learner learns and learn how to extend that learner or how to remediate that learner. So it's so much more than, it's absolutely incredible that it's going to be able to go through a step-by-step process to help someone learn how to solve a problem or how to achieve a particular outcome. But when it goes into that depth of learning how that actual learner is understanding and interpreting information, it becomes so much more. It's almost like a personal companion. So we can turn each and every one of our students using Ollie essentially into Iron Man with their very own Jarvis.
That is definitely true, and that's such an interesting take. Man, I can't believe what's going to happen in the next year or even the next month. AI is just rapidly growing. I wanted to ask, we just got Nate back on, which is awesome. Nate, if you want to, I don't know if you can see the screen, but maybe we could talk about the global opportunity here, between high school, online learning, developing nations, and stuff like that. So what is the particular extra goal here for Ollie, and how are you guys going to be able to do this?
Yeah, so the opportunity is obviously worldwide. It's global. We know there's over 3 billion people in developing nations that have mobile internet access and that don't necessarily have access to traditional education systems that we all have today. We know there's 650 million high school students around the world, that, as Stocks mentioned earlier, and there's a bit of discussion around, that aren't getting a high level of financial education. And we know that the ed tech market is obviously growing and growing every year. So this is where we see a massive opportunity to really have a large impact on people's lives, get them educated on things that they're not having the opportunities with, and to really make a difference. I don't think we've spoken about it yet, but those 3 billion people in developing nations, not only do they not have access for, it might be a geographic reason. We know that one of our partners, Consensus, is working with Ugandan refugees that are refugees from Somalia, basically. So they're in a situation where they wouldn't be able to go to school, wouldn't be able to go and get all of this extra insight and education. Sorry, my dog's attacking me. He wants to say hello.
Go, pupper.
But yeah, so we want to get to these people that don't have the access, and not only educate them, but give them an opportunity to better their lives through the learn to earn, the create to earn, and refer to earn process. I think Stock mentioned earlier that in a country like Nigeria, the minimum wage being $70, if we can be putting out courses where people are learning and earning and making a few dollars here and there, that goes a really long way. Even in developed nations, I know my students say it to me all the time at school. So if you were paying me for this, I would be a heck of a lot more interested. And that's why I'd be teaching something like algebra or, it could be trigonometry, whatever it might be when I was teaching maths, or even in phys ed, because it's funny the challenges that you get from when I was in the classroom, the students that weren't interested and wanted to get paid to learn. It's now the opposite group of students that now I'm teaching phys ed out on the oval that don't want to learn but want to get paid for it. And yeah, so the common theme there is obviously having that motivation and that engagement. And that's where the gamification, the learn to earn and everything really comes to life.
So I'm checking out the ed tech market right now, and I see that you guys got a really nice, chart over here, especially 12 years from now, where currently it's at $137 billion right now, and if it goes up to $813 billion, and 12 years from now, there's going to be a lot of jobs being taken over by AI. We're having this discussion back and forth on. But this is also going to be that immediate time where we're gonna you guys and even like World Mobile Token or different facilities, different projects are going to be doing like targeting the outskirts of the world, because I mean I think it's like what a little over 90% of people in the world right now are not even affiliated with crypto, yet we're in like an almost $3 trillion market cap. And I mean that's just kind of like peanuts, because I mean there's like quadrillions of dollars out in the real world, let's be honest here. So crypto is still relatively new. If you kind of like, if you were to age Bitcoin in a way, and it came out, back in like, 2009, January 3rd, 2009, it's only about like 14, 15 years old, right? So it's still technically a teenager. But now there's a really good representation of what crypto can do and how people could go ahead and start using those tools and functions to create Ollie. So this is where you guys are going to really shine here, and the future of Ollie is going to be really bright. So we'll go on to the marketing snapshot over here. So I see you guys got your objectives, you got your strategies. I'm pretty sure you guys got a roadmap. You target your audiences, how you guys are going to message, and your vehicles. So we're going to go ahead. Let's start one by one, right? So we'll start with the objectives first. So I see you guys build a world-class educational platform. So it's going to be an all-in-one educational platform on Ollie, right?
Yeah, so the focus initially is around financial education, crypto, blockchain, or the Web3 space. But as we grow and develop, and with the create to earn model, people are going to be able to create content around anything that they have proficiency or expertise in, and it will continue to grow and scale from there. So I've created over 100 lessons already that we'll be using to seed the platform around Web3 and financial education. We actually had a meeting yesterday with one of my friends who's a financial advisor that is into the space, and he's been trying to get his financial education into schools, and he's just been met with roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And through the partnerships that we've had, I'm not sure if Stocks already mentioned Schoolzine, and the platform that we're building, we're going to be able to give him an avenue to get his content out to the world. So having, so lost my train of thought a bit, but having the platform, having the access to add more and more content as we go is going to be huge. Also with teachers, I know people that I work with have gigabytes, if not terabytes worth of lessons, PowerPoints, tests, assessments, and all sorts of content that can not only be housed on the Ollie for Schools platform, so the students can be accessing it and they can be linking it to their curriculum and education as they progress. They could turn all of that into lessons that people could be accessing anywhere at any time, even without a school affiliation. So there might be a kid over in, Kenya that wants to learn about trigonometry, and the teachers uploaded that, and they can go on there and the student can get paid while they're learning about their trigonometry within that learn to earn model. Just like at the moment with all the initial seeding stuff, they can go in there and learn about budgeting, finance, what is money, what is Cardano, how to set up a wallet, all these sorts of things. So
don't forget taxes too, because a lot of us don't know how to do taxes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And this is where the opportunity lies for the creators. So we're rewarding creators quite well for creating content if they're going to provide it for free learning for other people. Obviously, if they choose to get paid for the content they're creating, the model's slightly different, because every time someone accesses their course, they're getting paid. Whereas if someone comes up, and we might have a tax expert that wants to come and put a whole lesson together around crypto and Web3 tax systems and how that all works, if they put that out there for free, they get rewarded by us for doing so. And then obviously anyone can go in there, learn, and start earning while they're finding out how that all works.
And here's the thing that really is catching my attention too. So let's just say I went ahead, I did one of the programs. I wanted to learn how to do taxes, right? I went on ahead, I did the course, I passed the quizzes, whatever I had to pass, right? So when you do these things, you get like certificates or degrees. It depends on how long you're learning and stuff like that. So when I'm done with these programs, or this content that's being delivered to me educational wise, do I get like some type of certificate along the way, or how does that work?
Yeah, certainly. So we're working with a number of partners for different ways of integrating this to have the maximum amount of success and the maximum amount of meaning behind it. So initially on the base level, like when the MVP is released, people will be able to complete their course and get a certificate that essentially will be starting out as a PDF. But we're bringing this to NFTs on the blockchain for verifiability of completion. So you have to achieve a certain pass mark, then you'll be able to mint your course completion certificate as an NFT. We're working with Cardano Foundation and what they're doing with the Tyler Prism, digital identity, self-sovereign identity. So people will be able to obviously set all of that up, get their NFT for completing the course, and have it all verified on their own account. We're working with partners like the Galacticats and the BlockJob platform, so we can link these courses to what other people are doing in terms of making like for a job application. So essentially developing a Web3 resume. So say son of a Bitcoin might say, hey, Nate, this is the requirements we need for XYZ. And then we say, cool, these are the courses they need to complete. They can get their NFT recognition and they can go and apply for that job, building up a Web3 resume from the Ollie platform. And we're also working with a few different people like Mav100, the Self-Driven Foundation, for finding ways of linking our courses back to Web2 education. So people can get recognition of prior learning, use it for college applications, and all sorts of things like that. So there's job opportunities, there's Web2 school opportunities. There's so much that's going to come from this. And it just gets more and more exciting as we dive into it.
You see, this is what I like. I like how you be able to go ahead and get, these certificates through NFTs. That's a really cool thing. I like how you're doing with the Cardano Foundation. And yeah, we just had a live stream not so long ago last week with Son of a Bitcoin. That was actually really fun. And I like what he's doing with the block jobs. People are going to have the opportunity to go ahead and post a job or, apply for a position and stuff like that. And then now you got Ollie over here where you can provide some content or even learn some content. So man, I'm super excited for the future where you guys are building here, especially for those who have no idea how to get involved and stuff like that. They're going to learn. And I think with this whole programs that you guys are going to have here, which is going to be coming up next, would be the ambassador program. I'm pretty sure we're going to speak more on that one next here. So I guess who wants to take the ambassador program? Do you want to take an A or does Stock want to take it this time?
That's Stock's baby, and he's like the best at explaining it. But it definitely goes a long way for when we say we've got a goal of having 100,000 users within the first 12 to 24 months. This ambassador program, as well as our refer to earn, goes a long way to achieving that. So I'll let Stock jump in.
Yeah, so look, it's a little different to what we know as ambassador programs, especially within Cardano, which is more volunteers saying, I'm going to help and spread the word, maybe host a couple of events. Our ambassador program, think of them as a sales team. They're a paid sales team. So if you're the country manager in Nigeria, for instance, we'll get $30,000 a year pay, which is, basically the average wage in Nigeria. So not the minimum wage we talked about, which is $70. The average wage is $200, which is $2,400 a year. We're paying $30,000 a year, right? So for the country manager, which is essentially gives us the ability to get a senior retail manager. So we want a sales manager because they're essentially hiring a sales team and they're all targeted on a number. So collectively, each country manager will have 5 ambassadors. They'll be part-time. We're targeting university students because rather than flipping burgers for $70 a month, we're paying them $600 a month, so nearly 10x what they would get for a minimum wage job as a side hustle to put themselves through university. And the reason we're doing that is, look, university students have mobile phones, they have internet access, they believe in education, which is why they're at university in the first place. And most university campuses are 30 to 50,000 people. So they've got a massive target audience for essentially onboarding people at Ollie. All they've got to do is onboard 100 people a month, which is not a lot of people considering how many people they're engaging with. And in order to keep their job, like I'm just being like a corporate hard ass here, they're going to do 100 a month, right? So between the 5 part-time ambassadors and the full-time country manager, that's 600 per country, which is 7,200 essentially new people onto the platform every year. We currently will be in 3 countries in the first 12 months. Their targets are over 10,000 students. Basically, our financial model basically says 4,800, which would mean they would need to fail by over 50%. And it would also mean the Refer to Earn program would have to be completely ineffective and no one would ever use it. And the incentive scheme around the Refer to Earn program, which is really where we've applied a lot of effort and focus, because ultimately for human beings, incentive drives behavior. You basically bring on 10 new people a month through your affiliate link, and you're going to earn like $10. Now, $10 doesn't sound like a lot of money in a first world country, but hey, if you're working a month, a full-time job for $70, that starts becoming pretty meaningful. So we think the statistics and the numbers we've put together are super conservative, and we think that and the combination of the country managers, the ambassadors, and the Refer to Earn program, that we're going to absolutely smash the numbers that we've got in our current model.
See, I love that. I like how you guys are doing these ambassador programs. I like how you guys were doing like a deep analysis on like how much people are making per country, and kind of like incentivizing on them to go ahead and make some money on the side to continue their education and stuff like that. Because let's be honest here. Education, especially if you go to like a university, can be really expensive. Sometimes they'll charge you an arm and a leg. But if this really kicks off here, not only would it be cheaper for people to go ahead and get the education they rightfully need, but this is going to go ahead and allow people to save money and make money at the same time. So, and the cool part is that you could run this ambassador program full-time and part-time, because, there's going to be some university students that are kind of like working like a full-time job. And so they're working a full-time job, and later on AI is going to take it. And then they're going to like want to kind of focus on school because, like you said before, they're going to these universities because they want to gain the knowledge into something that they possibly passionate about and get more involved with it. And so with this ambassador program here, they're going to be able to connect with one another. They're going to be able to go ahead and spread the word. And then they're going to be able to, get these numbers and rack them up and meet some daily quotas and stuff like that as well. So there's a really great and organic way to gain some awareness and some brand building. Even, I can see right here some local activities and events. A really great way for people to kind of socialize under like the event of, education. And, I know we had this conversation before, and we should definitely have it again. Because I asked you guys back then, like, it'd be really cool if you guys can probably put something on the side and help these schools, especially with children, right? Because me personally, I believe that when a child is fed very well, they have a healthy body, healthy mind, they can progress and do a lot more in the educational field or the content providing field. Being able to kind of like, hey, guess what? You guys have been doing really good in your numbers. We would like to go ahead and, give you guys a little bit of extra so you guys can go ahead and get some really good food and stuff like that. It's kind of like, when you work really hard at a job and they're like, oh, we're giving you pizza. But the thing is, over here, you're getting paid at the same time and you're educating, but you also learn at the same time and you're getting some really good food and stuff like that.
Rich, you kill me with that, because I don't know if you guys know that in Australia, but that is some dumb shit that corporate companies do here, bro. What? You guys have been awesome. Pizza party. Everybody's just like, what? Can you just pay us more money? Like, this is ridiculous. That's freaking funny that you said that, because that's
the norm. That's the norm here in America.
Yep.
Yeah, well, look, it's interesting you say that, man, because if we took it through our financial model, what we've got is a whole line item of things we're giving away for free with Ollie for Business. So Consensus, we're giving them a free platform because they're genuinely doing good, right? They're basically helping Ugandan refugees. Same with schools, right? So we have a whole bunch of school allocation where we're giving away free platforms, so that people can just get this for nothing, and actually do good. So there's a whole charitable aspect of this that we haven't really discussed before, but yeah, we absolutely are giving away free platforms to basic people that are trying to change the world like us, and schools that are maybe don't have the budget to pay for it, but ultimately want to add value to their kids' lives.
Absolutely. You see, and now I'm checking out the user acquisitions, and if you guys can go into like detail here. So I see there's a country manager, the ambassadors, and then new users. What is the responsibility for these country managers?
Well, so the country managers are responsible for hiring the ambassadors and managing them day to day and making sure they're on track for their sales targets. And look, I don't want to be capitalist and renegade, but look, this is reality. Look, if you take the job and we're paying you good money and you miss your targets, then you're going to get fired just like anybody else would, right? Because you're a paid employee. And that's the difference. I've run these programs, these ambassador programs around the world for different companies in different segments of the market. And I'm telling you, the volunteer model does not work, right? Because you have no control, you have no influence. It really is just them given free time, and you just got to keep buttering them up and hope they do something good. When you're paying somebody, so the ambassadors, which is a part-time role in university students, so they're getting $650 a month, and a full month's pay for working at McDonald's is $70 a month. So they're getting almost 10x. So there is an incentive for them to want to keep that role and keep that paycheck coming in. And that means they need to acquire 100 new users to the platform every month. Now, once those users are on the platform, the users themselves can then benefit from the Refer to Earn program, which essentially means the actual platform itself does the long-term marketing.
That, you know what, I'm going to tell you right now, it's better to be realistic than unrealistic and understand that there's a way to do things. That's 100% certain. And I like where you guys are coming up with this, because it's very important. Like for me personally, if I'm hiring you, and I agree with you 100%, if I'm hiring you, I have a list of all the obligations I'm asking you to do for this position, right? And if you're not fulfilling the position, you're not filling everything I'm requiring for that position, then we're going to have to go ahead and find someone who's going to be able to have the capabilities of doing that for the position, right? And they do a good job and stuff like that. They can go ahead and make a request for raises, or if you can actually see, like, all the numbers are going to be there. I mean, you'll be able to see all the numbers. You can see all the statistics for like new users, how many ambassadors.
I mean, sorry, I just wanted to follow on from that. So we're currently building an ambassador administration portal. So every ambassador will be able to log in. Every country manager will be able to log in. They'll have a dashboard of how each individual ambassador is performing. So they can look. I mean, we're not going to fire somebody straight away. We're going to counsel them on how to get better, just like you would in a normal job, in a normal business. But they'll be able to see their targets, how they're tracking against their targets, how they've gone month to date, how they've gone year to date against their targets. So it's all about giving people feedback, and helping them to succeed rather than firing them. But look, at the end of the day, you got a lazy employee, you're going to fire them, right? I mean, that's just the way the world works.
But this is a big part of where those numbers that we talk about are realistic. So the space we ran earlier was called Onboarding Cardano's Next 100,000 Users. And people might look at this and say, oh, well, 100,000 is a big number. But when we talk about having a country manager with 5 ambassadors under them, each with a monthly sale target of 100 new people onboarded onto the platform, we're talking about 600 people a month, 7,200 per year. You put that into 2 or 3 countries, and all of a sudden we're talking about 20,000 people per year coming in. But then people say, well, where's the connection? That's great that they're using Oli, but are they truly onboarded to Cardano? And the answer is yes. So we're partnering with Tokyo Wallet to get every single person that signs up for an Oli account will automatically have a wallet created for them. So as part of being onboarded to the Oli platform, they're being onboarded to Cardano. And then they'll start their learn to earn journey. They'll earn Ollie tokens, and they'll be able to interact with the Cardano ecosystem. When we're talking about some of these target demographics that we want to get onboarded onto the platform, where we see the biggest chance to make a difference in their life in the developing nations, a lot of them are unbanked, and we can't magically pop over there and open a bank. But what we can do is give them opportunity to earn crypto within the ecosystem, to have their own wallet set up, to have this full self-sovereign lifestyle beginning, where they complete more courses, they might create courses, they earn all of these Ollie tokens, and they can use them however they want. The Ollie token has utility. It gets them discounted rates on courses, discounted merchandise, discounted things with all of our partners, and so much more that we'll probably touch on soon. But also, thanks to a variety of different apps like Uber, people can actually spend their crypto. So all they have to have is their phone. They can get the Ollie app. They can get an app like Uber or Coinbase Pay or whoever it might be. Or I believe Tokyo is actually looking at having an integration similar. So they'll be able to earn their tokens, and they can literally walk up to whatever it is they're trying to buy, tap and go, and boom, they've spent their Ollie tokens. They've bought their Big Mac or whatever it might be, and they're on the way. And this is where it gets really exciting. So one country, assuming they'll hit their target, 7,200 users on Ollie, that's 7,200 users on Cardano, interacting with the ecosystem, getting to know all the projects that are putting information on our Ollie platform, increasing their knowledge about everything around the world. The opportunities is really endless, and the onboarding numbers just grow crazy from there.
You see, and I like that too, because that right there, easily onboarding people, especially, a lot of people when they get into crypto, they don't even know where to start. Like, how do I make a wallet? How do I do this? What's the seed phrase? Do I give that to anybody? Like, how do I put, so if they're able to go ahead and do that, make it easier for them to go ahead and get onboarded and have their own wallets and stuff like that. That's already, beating half the battle, the most important part of the battle, which is the very beginning. So you realize how to get started and how to get bridged in. And I like how you guys completely, came in and took those steps too, which would definitely go ahead and lead to this roadmap. So for everybody here who's watching right now, if you haven't already, make sure you guys are liking and reposting this live stream, so that way you have a chance to go ahead and get a whitelist for Ollie. I know you guys are going to have a token launch in 12 days. We'll go ahead and discuss the tokenomics here in just a little bit. But not only will you also have a chance to win a whitelist, but you'll be able to get a role on the Discord, the alumni role, which I'll be asking you, Nate and Stock, about alumni here in a moment. But yeah, make sure everybody is doing that right now. And then also for our sponsors, Sneks and Sneks Energy, we are doing a 20% off promo right now. Sneks.energy. The promo is Sneks on Chain. Get 20% off with your Sneks Energy today. Go to Sneks.energy, promo code Sneks on Chain. All right, Nate, let's go. Yes.
Sorry, because I actually do have to go to school today, so I've only got about 5 minutes before I'm going to have to jump off. Stock can probably stay a bit longer, but yeah, I do apologize for that. But if I don't go and have a shower and get myself together, I'm never going to make it to school on time.
No, you're good. Yeah, you go ahead and do that, and then maybe later on here sometime soon, you don't even have to go to school physically. You just do it online on Ollie.
Yeah, no, that could definitely be the case. So yeah, I'll hang around for another 5, but then I'm gonna have to run.
Okay, sweet deal. Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead with this roadmap here. Actually, no, let's talk with the alumni. Tell me about alumni, the Discord role. Like, what type of perks will that role have?
So the alumni. So it's just keeping it within the education theme. So people that are part of the alumni, part of our community, part of the project. That role specifically is a whitelist role. So we've currently got OGs, which are people that have been following us for the longest time already, and Olympians who were part of the project before the brand evolution, and they've earned themselves different roles through that. But the alumni role is coming in to get that whitelist for the token pre-sale. So the token launch is on the 4th of June. It goes live for the whitelist or for the alumni at 10 a.m. UTC. and then the public part of that will be at 12 p.m. UTC, so 2 hours later. So the alumni will have to jump on and get into that real quick. It's only 2 hours. During that alumni phase, it's only 500 ADA max buy as well, because we want to give everyone an opportunity to get involved.
Okay, so you're telling me I gotta wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get these Ollie tokens. Got it. All right, 6 o'clock. Wake up super early in the morning and get myself some Ollie tokens. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are, being very considerate about everybody's time zones. Don't worry, a lot of us here are early risers, or some of us don't even sleep at all. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for these for these tokens to be dropped. And then I'm checking out this roadmap here, which is a really interesting roadmap because I see that you guys have the MVP beta testing for web and mobile. I'm guessing for Ollie. And then so you said you have a partnership already with the wallet, and I guess are you partnered with Cardano Foundation? Is that correct?
Yeah, well, partner with Cardano Foundation. IGON. So you'll notice on the roadmap that we're talking about decentralization phase 1 in a few months' time, which is going to be storage, and phase 2, which is going to be compute, and like ultimately in 2026 we'll go to full decentralized governance as well. So we are aiming to be a fully decentralized business, but look, you can't start off that way, right? You have to centralize to get everything up and running. But we're absolutely following almost the Cardano roadmap, but just in a slightly different way.
Okay, I heard that. The last part, I guess you kind of cut off early. That's okay. We heard what you're saying. So okay, so the thing I'm interested in the quarter 4 2024, you guys are doing some gamification. So I know that you're doing like the earn to learn program, the business model, and the ambassador program along the way. But what about gamification? Is that like for people who want to do like live stream gaming and stuff like that? So we have like Twitch, you got Kick and stuff like that. Like maybe you want to touch up a little bit on the gamification part?
Yeah, it's not quite like that. I mean,
okay.
So basically, like if you ever played a slot machine in a casino, then the underlying psychology behind a slot machine is based on I think called Skinner's box, which was done in the 1930s, right? Which was we used to have Pavlov's dog, which is really about I suppose the start of operant conditioning, which was a light goes on, the dog works out that if he presses this button at a certain time he gets fed. Actually, it was a chicken, not a dog, but anyway, we call it Pavlov's dog for a reason. So human beings get conditioned in various ways, and the gambling institutions have completely taken over Skinner's box's research and adopted it, and that's why we have jackpot prizes and really small wins on an ongoing basis. So the idea is, if you want to really addict a human being, just like a dog or a chicken, giving them a single known reward every time they do something like press a button, that's one level of addiction. But if you really want to get somebody addicted, then what you want to do is give them variable rewards. So sometimes no reward, sometimes a little reward, sometimes a big reward. The education system has taken that on through basically giving people gold stars. You get 5 gold stars, you get a certificate.
I like a gold star.
Well, we all like a gold star, right? Because we all went to school. We've all been conditioned through Skinner's box's original principles. So look, gamification to start with is we basically have a random airdrop every month. 5 people will get it. They'll get between 5,000 and 100,000 XP. Look, at 100,000 XP, that's like 500 USD, right? And we can explain why through the mathematics of the spreadsheet. Now, if you're in Nigeria and your monthly wage is $200, well, 2.5 months' pay randomly dropped to you is a pretty big thing, right?
It definitely is 100%. And I'm gonna give Nate here the stage real quick because I know it passed like a little past 5 minutes. But Nate, is there anything you want to go ahead and say to everybody here listening to the live stream right now before you have to head out to school?
First of all, thank you very much for having us, and thank you everyone for tuning in to listen. Our website's live if you want to get more information, olympusinsights.io. All the links can be found on our Twitter profile, Olympus Insights. If you like the sound of gamification and airdrops, then you definitely need to be involved in our Discord because there may be something around that coming up very soon. Also, if you want to get a whitelist, make sure you follow all the different partners. Catch up with Fidgety and the gang. They're giving away some whitelists, but there's also opportunities to earn those within our Discord server. Yeah, we've got so much going on and so much more to talk about. I'm kind of devastated that I have to jump off now. But do have the IRL job to get to. Got to go teach the kids and all that sort of fun stuff. So yeah, thank you very much. If anyone wants to get on a call with myself, StockTrade or both, definitely reach out. There's lots of opportunities coming up, whether you have your own business, your own project, if you're a creator, if you're a student, if you have more questions that we don't answer today, if you have suggestions, any feedback, anything like that, hit us on Twitter, hit us in Discord, wherever you like. And I think we've got another space scheduled. I've got a few more spaces scheduled for next week. Awesome interview coming out tomorrow with DAP Central. Recording tomorrow with DAP Central coming out early next week. So we'll try to cover as much as we can with you all. Always got to give another shout out to Core Mafia Guild, who have been awesome partners. We announced that earlier during the week. And a shout out again to Consensus, Thomas and B, doing amazing things with the Ugandan refugee women. Shout out to the Sneks. Get yourself some Snek. Snack energy, I think, is all around us. So enjoy that. But yeah, I do have to run. So thank you very much for having me. Always a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right, Nate, thank you so much. You have a very safe trip. Yeah, make sure those kids are getting properly educated, man. Thank you so much for hopping to space. Thank you, Nate. All right, everybody. That was Nate. Make sure you guys are checking out Olympus Insights. We still have stock with us. We are going to go ahead and we'll move on to the next one. So if you haven't already checked out the roadmap, like what Nate was saying earlier, you can check out olympusinsights.io. Check out the websites, get involved with the Discord, check out their Twitter, and so much more. All right, Stock, let's go ahead and let's get back. So here is the team. We have Nate, who was with us earlier. We got StockTrade, who's with us now. And we have others like Alex, Burton, James, Kate, AG, Rolando, April Joy. I seen Alamase a lot. I see Danny a lot, and I see S20 a lot too. S20. I know he does a little bit of Comdano, really early in the morning for me. Really great guy. But yeah, this is a team. You can go ahead and check them out. They should 100% be on the website. And then Stock, we can continue and talk about these tokenomics here because your token is about to launch in about 11, 12 days.
Yeah. So the tokenomics. So look, I suppose the big one is what is the team getting? Well, look, the team's getting 6%. So look, I think most tokenomic structures have the team at 15 to 25%. So it's a very small allocation, and that's because we don't want much from the tokenomics. The reality is like we all believe in where this token is going, and that's why a small allocation is appropriate. The biggest allocation really is to Learn to Earn, which is 40%. So we've got 200 million tokens. 80% of them are going towards Learn to Earn. And obviously you make those tokens by doing courses, creating courses, and referring people to the platform. A number of obviously the various aspects of the token are on a vesting period, and look, obviously the 80 million is going to take us 5 years to actually distribute, just based on the user count. Look, at the end of the day, if the user count doubles the tokenomic supply, it won't double because we have the lever of XP, right, which we can change the ratio between XP and Ollie. But look, if it doubles, then obviously our ability to earn advertising revenue, our ability to earn content revenue, our ability to earn subscription revenue also goes up. So it doesn't really change the equilibrium of the ecosystem and what we've basically modeled in the spreadsheets. In fact, it actually just makes it better because obviously we're taking more money out of the real world and putting it into crypto, which I think is good for everybody.
100%. Yes, definitely. I like how you guys are doing the tokenomics, and like what Nate was saying earlier about like the being cognizant of everybody's time to get part of these part of the pre-sale, which I'm really looking forward to, especially with this project. I love what you guys are doing with the roadmap. I like what you guys are building here on Cardano, the partnerships. First off, another thing too, like I hope you guys have a really good live stream interview with Dat Central. He's a really great interviewer. I like him a lot. And we can push on to the final structure over here of this PDF, which is the financial revenue gains. So I see, over here, you can check out the revenue, like 2024, 2025. It's kind of like, over here by zero, but like in the next couple of years, like 4 to 5 years, you can see it's shooting up to like $15.5, $16 million in revenue. You check out the gross profits, all this monthly cash flow, and the pre-tax profits and whatnot. Do you want to talk a little bit more about these financial graphs, Stock?
Well, look, all I'd like to say is, look, those financial graphs include all the things we've talked about. Look, I'm more than happy to actually show the spreadsheets behind those graphs to anybody that wants to know them. But those graphs basically say we've got 4,800 subscribers by the end of year one. And we've already discussed the ambassador program's target. Yeah, we're paying them to do over 10,000. So the 10,000 got in there, the 4,800 in there. We're saying we're going to do 23 Ollie for Business sales. We've already got 8, and we haven't even launched yet. So it's ridiculously low. And we're saying for Ollie for Schools, in those numbers that you're looking at, in the first year is 7 schools. And we've got, a company on board that's got 2,000 schools in 6 countries. So I think the revenue numbers are low, but at the end of the day, man, we want to show people the worst case scenario, and we think we're going to absolutely outperform all of those numbers. And under those numbers, the Ollie token has an absolute floor of 0.05. The pre-sales are 0.02. The public sales are 0.03. 0.05. At 0.05, we can buy 65% of the tokens back with 20% of the profits from the business. So if those numbers are higher, then obviously we can buy back way more than 65% of the tokens. Now, the reality is people are going to hold the tokens, and a token price is based on the marginal buyer and marginal seller. So if I was to buy 5% of any token, World Mobile token or any other token on the market, I would move the price. And the fact that these numbers, these user numbers and these revenue numbers give us the ability to buy 65% of the token back in 5 years, just says that, the token price at 0.05. It's ridiculously low, but I suppose I'm just trying to emphasize the floor.
Man, that's a lot. I was just surprised on like will you be able to go ahead and buy back? That's insane. But yeah, no, I mean, I love it. I like every single thing that's been going on in the space. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap it up here. And I got the winners over here for the Twitter picker already for the winners of the 10 whitelists. So first winner is GPS 2022 MP. Struek, ePass Bro, Mystic Witch 27, Q, Cawoos.eth, Weird Owl. Let me see here. There's another one. We got Danny, but I'm pretty sure Danny's already part of the team. We already got one. One Solo, Kimi Chichi, and we got Stay Winning. So that's going to be our 10 winners. So I'll go ahead and make that announcement here after this live stream. Just want to go ahead and give a shout out to you, Stock. Thank you so much for coming to this live stream on Sneks on Chain. Is there anything else you want to go ahead and say before we go ahead and wrap this up?
Oh, look, I just really like to thank you, RTB, Fidgety, and Swaggins for letting us have the opportunity to speak to your community members. Look, I'm pretty excited by what we're doing. Yeah, I mean, look, I help startups. I've for 10 years. I invested in lots of them. I really think that what we've got here, given the emergence of AI, given the emergence of blockchain technology, and given the financial situation the world finds itself in with a massive amount of debt and completing, basically undermining people's purchasing power. I just think it's a marriage made in heaven. And I think, we're on the road to do some big things. So thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you so much, everybody. That is StockTrade. Everybody, thank you so much for attending this live stream. Make sure you guys are following Olympus Inside Stock. Nate, join into their spaces. They're going to be having a live, I guess, is it a live stream, or are you just going to do an interview tomorrow with Dev Central?
Oh, with Dev Central. So tomorrow, so I'm on Friday, so it is tomorrow for me. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow for you, but what is it now? Let's say it's 26 hours from now. We'll be doing basically a live interview with Breed, okay. But it will come out on Monday.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. All right, well, you heard it here, folks. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Sneks on Chain. I'm your host, RTB, and we will go ahead and see you next time. Take care.
See you guys. Have a good one.